Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all-Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly.
Hey Star Wars fans, welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm Ez, and I'm joined by my trusted co-pilot, Michael Canterbury. How's it going today, buddy?
Buddy, it's going good. I hope there's no delay there on the dial-up. Can you hear me?
The dial-up here is just barely. I mean, I've modified a few things on the modem. I'm doing everything I can to get everything. You know, I'm up to about 62 kilobytes per second.
Yeah.
All right, so outside of that, 50 whatever it is. So 57.
Yeah, I mean, you are in a. I don't think people understand.
I'm pushing it.
You're in a dead zone.
I'm pushing it
right now.
I really am.
I don't know. We are using Star Wars technology just to broadcast this.
Yeah, we definitely are, honestly.
Yeah.
And guys, I got to say, Mike actually tracked me down in the unknown regions. I was frozen in carbonite there.
Yeah.
And, he literally pulled a Lando and Chewbacca rescue mission.
I used some old maneuvers, Ez.
You did.
Some old maneuvers.
You did. You had some old codes, they checked out.
Thank God.
Thank goodness, man, because I'll tell you what, I was suffering from hibernation sickness like crazy.
Yes.
But anyways, it is good to be back.
Yes.
Quick update here. We're going to jump in, I think, to Council of Elders.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Quick, just show update here. For this episode, for those of you watching on YouTube, you'll notice the glare is back in full. It's back in full. That's all there is to say about it. So, for those of you listening, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
All right. No, quick update though. Ez has moved, man.
You moved, man. Ez, we've been talking about this for well over a year now. There's a Sith plot out there.
Yes,
and
sir.
The Sith plot just straight up it kicked you out of Echo Base.
Oh, I'm gone. Out of Echo Base.
Out of Echo Base. We had to floor it out of there faster than they did on Hoth. You know
no,
what I'm
we
saying?
did. We had to leave everything behind and just get out of there with our skin.
That's all we could do. No, you made a good move and sold your place for top dollar. So
I did.
Congrats to that. And now
now I have no internet.
Well, that's okay. That's when you're in the unknown regions. I mean, that happens.
Yeah,
that happens.
I mean, honestly, somebody out there has to understand what it's like to go from 100 megabytes per second down to, I'm pretty sure it's like 8 megabytes. Maybe I'm getting 7.
Yeah.
Supposed to be getting 10 out here in the country.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not one of
goodness.
those people. As I'm barely pushing 10 out here. So
okay, all right. And you're in the city, so you have no excuse.
I've never known 100 megabytes or whatever that's called.
Oh gosh, you could and you will. We're gonna upgrade your system soon.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go there and modify that. And then I even bought like my 4G jetpack.
Yeah.
And I found out I got the wrong one. So
wait, you got a jetpack?
Yeah, I needed one. After that tight pickle we were in, back there on Hoth, I had to really, switch it up.
Just shot right out of there with your jetpack.
See ya,
Ooh.
Navigated a couple asteroid fields and everything. So,
Yeah.
Honestly, glad to be back though. We actually just did a resistance reaction. Which was nice. That was nice to get back into. That was a little interesting, to say the least.
It was. It was.
We'll talk about more of that here in a sec. I also just got caught up on the Clone Wars trailer. Wow. I mean, talk about that one. That one gave me like a celebration moment. That one
It did.
took me back actually, and I was kind of like, "Wow, what has happened?"
As this was actually a first for us, I actually witnessed you weeping via Skype. So that was interesting and different. I had to mute you there for a bit. I just saw tears, and
right.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
You're typically here for me to curl up in a ball and just so you can hold me, but it didn't happen this time.
Absolutely.
So, the only good thing about doing Skype here is that the pants are still off in the podcast, right? So
you got a fan blowing right on that bottom. That's what's going on.
pants are optional, as you know, on Rebel Watch. Always have been, always will be.
That's right.
So, all right. So, honestly, Mike, let's see what do we got. If I look to the right here, I know the glare is going to be insane. I'm going to get blinded. So tell me what's up on the episode today.
Well, as we got
actually, my friend, hold on a second. Hold on.
There it is.
Enough about me. Let me just
about myself.
Take up the whole. Yeah, I mean, you been okay? I mean, I know after the whole,
not a lot's
maneuvers
changed. I've just been out there, doing some reconnaissance work.
Yeah.
Not much has changed.
Okay.
Still out there just running spice.
Sometimes, dude, I believe that
every day. There's not many options in the Outer Rim. You got one of 3 occupational choices, and I chose to run spice. Being an accountant isn't an option. So
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
So that's what I've been up to. Not a lot, buddy. It's good to be back. We are still gonna do some in-person stuff. It makes things a little easier, but. I mean, you got a nice commute on your hands, and this is just going to be an option, I think, that allows us to podcast more.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we actually struck gold with some of the, hopefully we're going to avoid future Sith plots because we struck gold in some of the equipment that we found, did a little research, and I think we're going to be set up here very nicely. But then, I think like this Thursday I'm coming down, so we're going to check out Guitar Center, get a few things, and then we'll probably do a live podcast, there at your place.
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's going to be nice and hot and sweaty.
Yeah, it has been Mustafar weather here recently where we're from. So
absolutely.
All right, though, back into Star Wars here. Let's dive into some discussion here. What do we have going on this week what we got? HoloNet?
A lot of HoloNet. A lot of news as coming out because we've been away for a while, but there's a lot of news. You mentioned the Clone Wars trailer, and it was emotional. That was an emotional moment. That was Comic-Con. That was a couple of months ago at this point. But I mean, what are your thoughts seeing that? I mean, it's completely unexpected, right?
I literally just watched it a couple minutes ago, and honestly, I was telling Mike before we hopped on here that it took me back to I had a celebration moment. I had a Star Wars celebration moment, and I was kind of I got those chills, you know. When that blue font comes up on there, and they that they're basically finishing the story, This war has to kind of come to a close, and it was awesome. It was really neat. It was neat to see Ahsoka, there at the end, Fulcrum back at it, and just kind of a cool full circle type of thing,
It's a smart move, man. Not just to win back, maybe some of those fans that have been a little disgruntled lately, but financially, there's Dave Filoni is already. I mean, he may have already completed this thing before the trailer even came out. There is a couple years ago at a celebration, maybe 2015 or something like that. I can't remember. They actually showed a clip, or actually they showed the unedited version of kind of like a pre-production, like really bad graphics version of the first episode. I think they called it the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, man, like some scenes out of that thing directly correspond or look just alike out of that trailer that we just watched. And I mean, I actually just started watching. I was like, this is too similar to what that trailer is. I'm not going to spoil any of this for myself. But what I take is that, there were some clones that had some deformities or weren't like the normal clones, and they considered them to be the Bad Batch. But they were kind of like an elite group. They took kind of those that had really special techniques and put them in a group to fight the Separatists. But I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the beginning. I was like, this is way too similar. Like I can't spoil this. So that we might be getting a little bit of that. So financially, it might make sense. They might already have all the voice actors stuff done, and they just need to kind of finalize the graphics. And I mean, they got a season done.
Wow. Yeah. I don't really know how much. Yeah, I was kind of wondering myself. Did they have to bring everybody back, or did they, as you said, did they already have it done?
Yeah.
Boy, I just know they really like Ashley.
They do.
Ashley Eckstein, right? I mean, don't we all?
Yeah, she was super emotional.
We love her.
Because everyone thought a couple years ago Clone Wars was over, and that's why Dave Filoni released that footage. He's like, I'm never going to get to finish it. You might as well see what I had. And the fact that he gets to do this, it just makes so much sense. And Clone Wars has never felt complete. I mean, you talk about something that was supposed to take place in between clones and Sith, and it's just never felt like it fit completely there towards the end with the lost missions and stuff. It just was. It needed to feel more like the end of the war, and hell, I would love for it to bleed right into episode 3, right into it.
Yes,
I
think I think it may. Yeah, I actually think it will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Filoni's just awesome. They love him there.
Great.
They're gonna. I mean, if he has a little project he wants to finish, then let him finish it.
Absolutely.
Let him put that to rest, and then he can move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of the same. Well, we don't want the or do we? Do we want the George Lucas syndrome? Yes, we always do.
Yeah.
But always felt like he had something wasn't finished, and he could go back and revise it. And I'm sure all those guys feel like there's more to be done and different things. But the initial project there, the initial series wasn't finished though. And so it's different than it'd be like if episode 6, it wasn't we had to lost the budget halfway through, we stopped, and we don't know what happens. But just it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but we happen to know the story past episode 3, so we were able to move on. But I think it's a good idea to go back and really fill in the gap and just finish it out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And if I'm
not mad.
No, I'm not either. And if I'm not mistaken, man, I think I can't remember now. It's been, because I watched the trailer originally when it came out, but it's also been a while since I read the Ahsoka book. But there were some snippets in the Ahsoka book that didn't line up with the main story. They were other things going on. And we might see some of that stuff come into play. We might see some of that action, if I recall.
Oh, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like with the mining colony and different things that were happening.
Yeah. Well, and there's some other stuff with Obi-Wan and Anakin and some stuff that didn't make so much sense kind of reading the book at first a long time ago. And now I think some of it might kind of line up a little more. It's going to be exciting to kind of see her story. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? Because it's going to continue on, hopefully, in something else, right? With her maybe seeking out Ezra, but then also here in this last season. That's for thinking that we might never see Ahsoka again. We're actually probably going to see a lot of her.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. Well, yeah, Ezra saves her from, what was that, the Gateway, right? I mean,
yeah.
So that's fantastic. I'd love to go back and see her being a guardian of that Gateway in some way.
Yeah.
But I think right now in Clone Wars, she's going to be that age. She's going to be Fulcrum. Yep. Well, no, take that back. I'm sorry. No, we're still in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But the piece that the book, right? You were talking about the Ahsoka book.
Yeah.
Aren't there Inquisitors in that?
There are Inquisitors. Yeah. She destroys one. Pretty easily.
Right.
Pretty easily.
Right. Okay, I got you. And that was sort of the forging of some of her lightsabers and what have you. So yeah, it's been a bit since I've read that as well, but. Yeah, good book. It'd be trying to remember where that would fit in, and whatnot. Because this is still early on. Clone Wars is still going to be early on,
absolutely.
In her development here. So that actually might have been a book. I can't remember where the book takes place. Like how far after her, exile, right? From
I mean, it's after. I mean, Vader is summoning, because he's leading the Inquisitors, so that's already kind of happened.
Yeah.
So that's
this
is before
so Clone Wars
all
is this is gonna touch a very early part of her, right after she's exiled type of life, right? So something we haven't seen.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, she's. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I don't know what to expect. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of war, but I don't know. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's like who is she working for? What capacity? Because it's just different. I'm wondering how it's going to tie in with everything.
Well, in the Bad Batch, she supposedly has her own kind of regiment or division or whatever you want to call it of clones that she's going to kind of lead. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. When's that coming? Do we know when that's coming out? I can't remember.
No, I didn't see anything. It's probably out there somewhere. I just didn't see it at the end of the trailer I was watching. So. I know Resistance we talked about Resistance in the reaction. It's coming out in October.
Yeah.
But not sure about Clone Wars. So. Oh man.
So segue into that other animated series you just mentioned, the Resistance trailer. Did a reaction?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. We did our initial reaction. Both of us did. Kind of held off on that and watched that together. It's interesting. It's going to be. We've got Poe. Dameron there. I I don't know. I think it might just give you more. What it felt like to me, honestly, was sort of a Resistance Inferno Squad. You know, so you've got like Inferno Squad, Iden Versio, kind of that elite forces, you know, group kind of doing either taking people out or gathering intel or what have you. And then you've got, what's this called? Team Fireball? Isn't that what this was called? Fireball.
Yeah, that's not a good name.
Well, yeah, no. But anywho, it's you know, they're gathering some intel. It sounds like going to be doing some spy work, and it sounds like our main character is not very good at spying, but he's really great at flying. So we shall see how that goes.
Yeah, which is cool. I want to see
Your
more
thoughts?
flying. I want to see. I want to see more flying. I want to see more ships. I want to see that cool stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a ton. I mean, I say that about Rebels, too. I didn't think we were going to get a ton of good, hard canon material. And then, you know, you throw, you know, the Maul factor in there and things like that. It's just, are we going to...
Yeah, there's some tidbits. Yeah.
Right? Are we going to see moments like that in this anime style? I don't know. I am not a huge fan of the animation. I'm there for that story, and I know you are as well.
Well, I didn't see Phasma, but you said you saw Phasma.
Really quick. She was shooting off a blaster really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things like that, you know, we might see some cool connections, you know, in that regard. But I just I'm interested just to watch it and kind of see where it goes. And you know, they didn't give us a whole lot, and I think that's kind of the point. You know, we're gonna go watch it and you know,
well,
see what we think.
It's not getting good reactions on the internet. But none of the animated stuff did. But I know we've talked about the world class BSers folks and that following in the past. And I mean, I've seen videos about another flop by Disney. It's just like people just want to see it fail. Some of these people at this point, but some of those people also hated Clone Wars. They hated Ahsoka, and they're even, you know, jabbing at Disney. Oh, this is a ridiculous drop for Clone Wars. You're just trying to. Well, so what? Everyone wants it. Like, why not? So I don't know. It upsets me as.
Well, and it should, Mike, because here let me give some advice to folks out there.
Yeah.
Once you start down that path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So that negativity can consume you, friends.
Can.
All right. So be careful. All right. So that's my warning.
That's
advice
right.
for the day.
That's right. We'll give it a shot, though. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's on the Disney streaming service, so that'll be fun to get our pocketbooks out and pay for that service. You know, hopefully you'll get it for me. It's a recession over here.
No, I think that's something we're gonna have to share, and probably have to get rid of Netflix because I don't know.
Yeah,
can't afford two streaming.
I'll
services.
keep the Netflix. You get the app. There will be
Perfect.
the
We'll
Disney
share.
app will be fine.
I like it. I like it.
All right, good. All right, next up on the agenda, anything we got more in HoloNet, don't we?
There's so much news. As not that long ago, I forget who it was. Someone hit up Ewan McGregor, and everyone's thinking for sure there's an Obi-Wan movie coming, and he is not aware of anything. But there was a report that a spin-off movie that heavily involved Tatooine was in like a pre-production kind of stage, but Ewan McGregor had no idea that anything was going on. So my question then is, would they ever have an Obi-Wan movie and not cast Ewan McGregor?
No.
No.
There's no way. No, absolutely no way. Here's the not why he's alive. There's just no way. It's foolish.
Right?
Now the reason he doesn't know is because he doesn't need to know. They're going to build the story. I think they would do some concept art. They do various things, and then once the story is approved, like that's a great story.
Yeah.
You know the guy can act. You know he can play Obi-Wan. He'll come in. He'll just knock it out of the park. So
and he's down already. He's already said in the past.
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
Ready.
Yeah. So he doesn't need to know about it at all. No sense in getting his hopes up. And then also you got to deal with the fact once we tell him, he's got to keep this a secret.
Yeah.
It's just better to just hold off until we are sure.
Absolutely.
And then you bring him in. You sign him. You sign a contract.
Yeah.
So he's already working with Disney. In other capacities. So other projects. So
yeah,
he's around. So.
He is. You know what? You know what excites me is there's a couldn't tell you who the company is that makes the sculpture, but there is a sculpture out there, and I'll post that at an image of it. It's one of the greatest pieces I've ever seen, and it's Ewan McGregor as an older Obi-Wan, and he's got this like pack on his back and parts of his Clone War armor, and he's got like a staff and stuff. It's so gorgeous. I want it in my office here, but like that gets me excited. That's the Obi-Wan I want to see on Tatooine or whatever he's doing. Show me that. Whoever's concept that was genius.
Right.
Genius.
Yeah, that would be neat. I mean, we've talked a lot about Obi-Wan and what we would like to see and things that they could possibly do. Yeah. There's plenty of stuff that they can do with it. I think some people have said, we're tired of these standalones, anthology films, things like that. And so it sounds like they've been put on hold for a tidbit. The problem is they would have actually gone forward. I mean, it's Solo. It's that unfortunately I think has put them on hold. The whole project from start to finish had its ups and downs. I think it's a good movie, and I like the story. Yeah. But people either boycotted it because of Last Jedi, or they didn't understand the sequence. You and I were, at a breakfast and on our way to see it, and people were talking to us about it, and they didn't know where it was happening in the timeline. They didn't understand.
No idea.
So that's your mainstream, fan there. So it can be one of those things that is intimidating. I've talked to coworkers sometimes, and they're kind of like, where do we start? What are these new, like after they're done with episode 9, how do you watch Star Wars? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's going to be a little bit, we might need you and I might have to create a little user's guide. Okay.
I think that would be, well, maybe we'll get together with the Star Wars Explained guy and put that together. Maybe he's already done it and we can just take credit for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to we got to renegotiate it with Disney.
We do. We got to get back in speaking terms with them. But you're right, though. I don't think there's a need for it right now, especially with all the animated stuff going on. We have episode 9. Like, I think, Last Jedi and Solo happened so fast, we kind of forget that we've got a year and some months before the speculation's starting. We still have some animated stuff. This may be the last Skywalker installment ever. I mean, ever. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I know.
There's going to be more time for other stories and other spin-offs, but this could be the ultimate conclusion of episode 9 in the Skywalker installment.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, do you remember right before episode 8 and right around episode 8, everyone was talking about how, there's just too much. It's oversaturated. There's too much going on or whatever. How does it feel right now? How does it feel right now between Solo and episode 9?
Pretty bare.
We've got the Resistance show coming.
Yep.
I don't know. I just feel like, how does it feel? We've got over a year. We've got a year and a half. Yeah. Until the next major motion picture comes out. And so I think that feels good. It's actually like to me, knowing that we have that and then other things to come, it's okay. Like I think when we hear about it, we start to in our head be like, well, how are they gonna get this trilogy in? And we all kind of compact it in with the next 2 to 3 years, and it's like, no, it's not how it's gonna happen. We have a year and a half until episode 9 drops. Yeah. Or just under a year and a half. So,
and you know what they've done that's exciting too. In that time, we've had some pretty big casting announcements, which kind of we'll skip our Thrawn discussion for a second. We'll just kind of combine those casting announcements we have on the notes here, but that I think has got some people excited. I mean, some of these actors people really like and what they've seen them in, and I mean, what are some of these announcements? Mark Hamill confirmed for episode 9. Carrie Fisher, footage from episode 7 confirmed to be using some of that. That's huge, in my opinion. Huge. That she's going to be. They're going to figure out some story for her and be able to use. What is that footage? I'm curious to. I kind of want to go back and. Right? Don't you want to kind of go back and watch The Force Awakens and be like, okay, was there something that we didn't see there that they could use for a story in 9? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue what that could be because I don't know where the setting would be. She'd have to be on. I just have no clue.
I don't either.
You know,
I don't either.
Maybe it's audio, you know, and it's sort
Could
of
be.
like something coming back from the past. I just feel like I don't know, man. That one honestly, I have to give that more thought and really think about it. When I heard that they're going to use some recycled footage, either they recorded some stuff, you know, for like an insurance policy. Honestly, you know, because those actors are up in years, and they might have actually said, "Let's get as much as we can with these guys, you know, just in case we need it."
Yeah.
And record some just lines back and forth that we can use later. I don't know. That seems crazy to me that they would do that, but whatever. Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
they could. There could be some more discussion of Ben, or maybe like, I don't know. There could be something there where she's talking with someone about Ben. Maybe I don't know. I honestly don't even know what that. I'm happy they're doing it though. I think we all thought that they would figure out a way to not have some digital recreation of Carrie Fisher, or even have, you know, another cast member thrown in there for her character. I'm so glad they're not doing it. I'm just like, what is that? It's gonna. Yeah. I'm assuming it's gonna be small. You know.
Yeah. And here's what I think might be neat with that is, perhaps, you know, it opens, as I had said in the past, you know, with her passing information, you know, in the scroll that lets us know that, and we're thinking, okay, you know, they've done it. You know, you know, maybe 10 years has passed since the last time, or 5 or 2 or 3, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, a couple years has passed, and she's passed away, and then they might then pull some audio, perhaps like through the Force. You know, you could just zoom in on Ben, thinking about things, hearing the news, you know, and then it's his mother speaking to him. You know what I mean? Trying to call out to him.
That would,
because that's the only thing I could think that she would be trying to do after Han is killed. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
After he's killed, I could see her possibly sitting down and calling out to him, and them using that audio of her trying to reach out to him. Yeah, that was one thing I thought of, because I'm trying to think of characters she would interact with. You know, and
you're absolutely right about that, because didn't it feel like
there was more?
that there was more for her to maybe grieve Han, or like you said, try to reach out to Ben about what happened, because when Rey shows up on that base,
sure.
I mean, it's just like that, you know, she has that moment where she knows he's gone, and then we're moving on, and there's no real mention of Han's passing until you see Mark Hamill. Well, and
you know, until a deleted scene in 8, right? I mean,
you're absolutely right. Yeah, they don't even show it in The Last Jedi. So maybe there's more there, like you said, and she attempts to reach out, and maybe that could be some of the conflict that he continues to deal with. Or
throughout the movie, if he hears his mother speaking to him and things like that, it could be one of those things where, like, wow, whoa, there it is, you know, back through the Force type of thing.
That's crazy. So. I don't know. I thought that was huge, man. And we have a couple others. I mean, I'm excited about Kerry Russell. Loved her in Felicity. I remember watching Felicity with my mom. You know,
I bet you did.
Middle school or something like that. I mean, I had a huge crush on her then too. So that kind of, you know, kind of brought me in. But she's a great actress. She's worked with J.J. Abrams a lot. So I mean, people are already speculating is she a Mara Jade? It's just like, okay, I want to believe that you know, something like that's possible, but we've got to let that go.
Do we?
I don't know. I don't know, because here's my concern. My fan.
Oh boy,
I need some coolness.
Oh boy, come on.
My concern is we have one movie to go.
Yeah.
Maybe forever in the Star Wars installment. We just talked about that. And the Skywalker installment. They have some major cast announcements. We haven't even got... I mean, Kerry Russell is the first, like, new face. But then you got Matt Smith from the Doctor Who series. Like, Dominic Monaghan, like, the Lord of the Rings. Which Hobbit was he?
Mary. I think he played Mary.
Mary. Yep. Like, these are pretty big names. This isn't who's the new James Bond guy? What's his name? I can't even remember his name.
Oh, the guy, he's in a stormtrooper costume.
He's in a
Is that what you're saying?
Like that's a big actor with. There's no announcement about that. This is a year and almost a half before the release of this film, and we're getting these big announcements. These have to be big roles for these characters. I think Kerry Russell has to have a huge role. I think Matt Smith also has a big role. I think Dominic Monaghan has a big role, whether in the Knights of Ren or Carrie's an apprentice of Snoke, who knows what it is.
Oh, my God.
But here's my question: as with these cast announcements, how are they going to create new stories for these characters? How are they going to involve them in this situation in one film? I've been saying this for I will take credit for this because I heard this nowhere else until we talked about it months and months and months ago. We said there's a possibility we could have two films here. This could be a Harry Potter split, a Hunger Games split. It would be smart business wise.
Wow.
But like, how are you going to get all these characters in here? I mean, people thought that Rose was kind of just shoehorned in there and didn't have much of anything. Like, I don't want that.
Well, okay.
I mean,
so if they can do something like that with Rose, they still had two films though with her, right? So you've got this film and the next film you can kind of see her develop.
Yeah, that's true. But that's the thing. Like, that story was so weak to begin with. I don't think that many people are very interested in it.
Yeah, they're good. I think they're going to spice it up. I think they're going to find a way to really do something kind of epic with that. Actually, I don't know what, but there's going to be something. I have a feeling like, you had mentioned at the top of the show that this could be the last Skywalker, installment type of situation, and I'm starting to think that it's not going to be.
Oh yeah.
That we're going to have 9, and then we're going to take a huge break. We're going to take a break for a while.
Okay.
And kind of move away from it, let it be. But I could see, I don't know how, but I could see somehow, because in Legends, Luke's son was much younger than Han and Leia's son,
Ben Skywalker.
Yeah. And so there could be a situation where, if this is a Mara Jade, I just love the idea of Mara Jade. That's why I'm so intrigued by that casting. But the idea that Rey goes on a mission to find, Luke's son, or Luke lies to her, kind of like Obi-Wan, did. And where's the big reveal? In 5 it was I am your father.
Yeah.
And then in 6, it's she's your twin sister. So what's coming up in this one? You know what I'm saying? Who has misled us?
Kerry Russell is. I don't know her age, but I can't imagine she's as young as Adam Driver. I kind of thought it'd be cool to continue the Skywalker kind of lineage, that maybe there's something there in Kylo while he's been kind of dominating the galaxy, has had a love interest, and maybe she's, whatever. I don't know. I have no idea.
You said that Carrie girl. How old is she? Is she?
I don't know, man. 20 years ago she was doing Felicity, so she's has to be in her 40s. I don't, if not older.
Okay.
So I don't. I thought maybe how are they going to continue the Skywalker story? JJ would have to retcon some stuff, or Kylo's been doing his thing.
Well, see, I'm one of those people who believes Rian Johnson still left that wide open for Rey to actually be someone.
That's true.
I still think
That's
she
true.
is someone, and I think if you're looking for somebody who lied to, because again, Obi-Wan doesn't tell the truth. You've got a couple times, right? And then Yoda keeps this secret from Luke. And those are light side users. It wouldn't surprise me at all, for Ben to be the one manipulating her. Now the other thing is that I totally kind of believe there's some intimate relationship between those two. There's gonna be some big reveal. That some people have said that door is closed, as it seemed at the end of the Last Jedi, but there's a lot there.
Interesting. By God,
what is he dwelling on?
I can't wait till we get closer to this movie. We have some more snippets that we can kind of work off of. But I honestly can't believe you've kept that door open, because in my mind, Kylo's gone. he's gone. He is full on dark side. I just don't know how you bring him back.
Yeah.
Unless all of a sudden, like, Kerry Russell, Matt Smith, and this Dominic Monaghan are like, which I can see every single one of them being like dark side users. I can see every single one of them. But I just feel like he's got to be the big baddie.
I just don't know. Like, so the cast that surrounds Rey is essentially Poe and Finn. You know, Finn, really. And then Poe has always been kind of doing his own thing, and now he's met up with her. Yep. That's a little strange because, you know, the original like trilogy at least had kind of met and knew each other, you know? So in Force Awakens, they don't even meet. They meet at the very end of, you know, The Last Jedi. So I don't even know if we call that a trilogy. It's just, it's different, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who she's with going forward. You could introduce a brand new character, you know, and here's the thing. This with one casting, with one line, you could literally bring Legends so hard into this that it's not even funny.
You could.
I mean, you could have Rey seeking out different artifacts, traveling, what have you. Maybe it says that in the scroll. She's been searching places, and we hop right in on a place where she's entering a temple, kind of like you know, looking around, using her lightsaber as sort of like maybe she's reconstructed a lightsaber, perhaps, and she's in looking at this temple, and she sees a Jedi or someone meditating, and we find out that person is Kyle Katarn. All of a sudden, I mean, all of a sudden, you know, and he stands up and he says his name and he introduces himself. All of a sudden, my mind is blown. Yeah, this is somebody who was with Luke and who, you know, escaped. You know, there's other characters like Kip Duran, Cornhorn, you know, characters who, like, if their names were to literally come off of that, you know, like, just if we were to hear them in here and they were players and somehow and they knew Luke, you know, and they could talk about Luke in some capacity or whatever, that would be unreal, you know. I still think Luke is gonna. Here's the thing, Obi-Wan sends Luke to find a Jedi Master. Named Yoda. A place called Dagobah.
It does.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Luke Skywalker appeared in the Force and told Rey to seek out another Jedi Master. I mean, it just would not surprise me at all. I actually think that would be awesome. Even though and I think it'll be one of those things where her training is much more developed and she's much more further along than Luke was, and she's possibly been working with Luke in some regard, and maybe it's like, we need an ally. We need somebody else who you can kind of go, you know, and find. Maybe he sends, you know, Rey to his wife, Mara Jade. You know, I mean,
that'd be awesome.
I'm just throwing out ideas. We're into the we have said before the podcast started, we were talking about, you know, speculating for 9. My good buddy Lane was calling it pining for 9. So I think that's where we're at. We're getting ready, and so let's speculate away. And it's stuff I've been thinking about, like, how would I do it? Who are some characters I'd like to see? What could really draw on that, like, that nostalgia piece? And also, if you introduce a character like that, and even for new fans coming into it, you know, it still fits that plot idea, right? Or that plot device with, you know, Obi-Wan telling Luke to go seek out a Jedi Master. You know, doesn't matter who it is. It's their setting, the fact that they have a lightsaber, that if they say they were trained by Luke for years, cool. We have nothing. I mean, you could just add a whole layer right there just by saying that and doing that. You know,
That's true.
Sometimes we box ourselves in. I'm guilty of that. I box myself in to, you know, really limit what this is all they told us. It's like, well, yeah, they did that for a reason. They only gave us so much, you know.
And we all learned that the hard way, you know, with The Last Jedi. So we do need to be a little more open-minded. And I want to see a little more support and structure around Kylo Ren. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he had some people where, if it was the Knights of Ren, whatever, cool. I just felt like the Knights of Ren in that story was so... It was awesome, and it was just kind of left, you know, unexplained. I'd be down for that. And I'm kind of thinking about it now, like, how can they have all these characters in a movie or whatever? I mean, if you think about it, someone as influential as the Emperor was hardly ever present in any of the movies. You know what I'm saying? 6
what did they
and
say?
A little bit of 5.
Well, in episode 4, what was Darth Vader was in it for what, 18 minutes or something?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
it's the presence of the actor. I mean, obviously with Vader, he has a lot of influence just in his demeanor and his imagery and in his voice.
Right.
And with the Emperor, Ian McDiarmid did it when he had his moments. He was in charge and you feared him. So they can do that. And I'm sure, just like the Emperor, Snoke had other people out there because he knew that Kylo Ren was weak. He knew he wasn't ready. He's not just basing his entire, future on one weak, wannabe Sith or whatever he was seeking. There's got to be other players out there. I'd like to see a little power struggle, like we saw in Legends, like we saw with Prince Zizor and Vader. Like, let's see that. Let's
some of those the Emperor's Hand, right? Some of those different characters.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be down, man.
Oh my gosh, that would be really cool. Yeah.
You could make a whole trilogy just based off that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I get why Rian Johnson said, The Last Jedi picks up right there. It's very quick. The Knights of Ren could have been across the galaxy dealing with something else, doing various different things. They just didn't fit into a story. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. They can totally come back into this as there's no reason to say the one explanation is, here's the one line that you need to hear. They come back on screen, they report into Ben Solo. Yeah. They all kneel and they give him a report on the unknown regions and and where they've been.
That'd be
they come
awesome.
back to their master and they tell him what they found in the unknown regions. It's still kind of mysterious, and maybe an enemy's coming.
Yeah, because I'd like to see Ben Solo or Kylo Ren as a teacher. Right, he has those moments with Rey, especially in the novel, how she describes like him talking to her, and he's like not even listening to her. He just has his mind made up. I want to see those moments with an apprentice. With I don't know. I want to see that played out on film. We didn't see much of that with the Emperor and Vader. A little bit. Wow. Actually, I mean, we did a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see.
I know what you mean.
Kylo Ren as the master.
Well, one of the best things in as I've been reading through Legends is to listen to Jason Solo teach. To listen to him pass on what he has learned. It's crazy. But like as you said, Ben, that's one of the first things he says to Rey is, "You need a teacher. I can teach you." And so he's willing to pass on these things. Luke fears him. Luke senses that he's got this raw strength. And honestly, I think, I don't know. He's kind of when you teeter and you're on the fence, you're rocking back and forth. You're less committed to one side or the other. I don't know. You might be right. I don't know that we're going to see that anymore. Maybe you're right in that he just goes full on dark side, and that's where we really see this unleashing of power. Yeah. Because right now the struggle is what's keeping him down. He doesn't seem, and that's what in any Legends book I've ever read. It's sort of like you've got to kind of commit. You've got to really find yourself, and then once you're on one side or the other, you've got that power. I don't know.
Well, and we see how manipulative Kylo Ren is when he defeats Snoke. So maybe he has. I think about Palpatine and Dooku, and how he had Grievous as as Dooku's apprentice, but like Dooku was Palpatine's apprentice, but Palpatine kind of foresaw that things were gonna go awry with him. So he's been breeding Anakin Skywalker for this moment. So maybe, it feels like every time, an apprentice betrays their master, they've already been thinking about who's going to join them. And maybe Rey was that individual, but maybe there's someone else out there. Maybe it's Matt Smith. Maybe it's Dominic Monaghan. I don't know.
Right. They were cultivating somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
So much speculation is.
That's great.
It's not close enough to episode 9.
I know.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
It's a good start. Okay. All right. What else we got?
Well, and we're both in the middle of reading Thrawn Alliances, right?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah,
Thoughts so far, or just getting started?
I recently just got started, and really what stood out so far is just the dialogue between you had told me this too, Anakin and Thrawn, and how that kind of struck us, and just how it's just crazy.
Yeah,
kind of going back, getting some backstory, and then flashing forward and seeing him talking to Vader. And once you know that they've had that conversation before, and then for them to stand there and act like Thrawn doesn't know that this is Anakin Skywalker is crazy, right?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's so I don't know what happens at the end. I just just started to get into it, and one of my questions, one of my ponderings is basically, what does happen at the end of that, and what is going on in the unknown regions with Ezra and Thrawn and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I don't even know if we'll get that answered. I know.
Well, yeah, not in this book, but
not
I just
in this
mean,
book, yeah. Like what's? I mean, big story.
Yeah,
what's
big story? Where's it all lead to? So I know in this it's just that sequel and precursor to some of the stuff in Rebels, but
it's
cool.
It is cool, and I'll tell you right now, and that's what I told you when I first started reading. I'm halfway through now, but nothing of what I've read beats that prologue between the Emperor, Thrawn, and Vader. It was so that you could cut the tension with a knife. And that was 2 pages. And I was just like, this is awkward. I mean, the Emperor's testing them, testing their allegiance. He's testing Thrawn's allegiance to him.
Right.
And also testing Vader's weaknesses. And so he sends them out on this mission together. And they have to work together. And what's been surprising so far, and I don't know why I didn't think of it now, or when I was starting it, but like there's a lot of Padme in this book so far. She's kind of doing her own thing, which is it's necessary.
Right, and that's when he's still Anakin Skywalker, and we're trying to and Thrawn because he's out on his own reconnaissance mission, right? And then what is she doing? Don't tell me. Does it talk about it?
She's out doing something, and issues come up, and it forces Anakin to go look for her.
Oh,
and that's how that relationship starts. So it's
gotcha.
It's an interesting story.
Gotcha. It's a lot like in Clone Wars. I mean, she does her own thing, and then she gets in trouble, and he goes, or vice versa. He gets in trouble. She goes and bails him out. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not not as strong as the first Thrawn book, but only halfway. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. We'll have to get on that, and I'll have to finish that up within it. My goal was this week or next week have that finished, and then talk about it in depth. So
you're reading the legacy books right now too, right? I mean, you're starting those.
Yeah, reading legacy books. Gosh, what else have I read recently? Well, I've read the whole Legacy series, and I've kind of also gone back. Oh, Darth Bane. I've been reading the Darth Bane trilogy. So I have a student at school who was just obsessed with the idea of, reading Darth Bane. So I said, hey, you know what?
Good.
I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Let's
good.
Because I had read The Rule of Two, and then I hadn't actually got into. I just skipped right over the Path of Destruction, and I didn't even realize I was reading book 2 when it first came out. So
hey, that's all right.
Went back and was able to kind of get the backstory, and it's actually fantastic. Don't miss book 1. It's really 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 good in that Darth Bane trilogy. So some really neat Force connections, some cool tie-ins to the Sith, the way of thinking, the setup leading into the Rule of Two, and people, as we go forward and we talk about, post episode 6, are the Sith operating under the Rule of Two? I don't think that they are. No. I think it's sort of died out, and that's basically what Anakin, Skywalker has done is brought, air quote here, balance to balance things back out. I don't know. It's tough. I don't think that's a thing. I know it's mentioned in the movie, so let's just be honest about it.
It is, yeah.
Always, 2 there are. And so when I went back to that, it got me thinking a lot about the Sith, and I know Pablo Hidalgo had said that Snoke is not technically a Sith Lord and doesn't practice the Sith way, I'm guessing. And, he didn't say all of that, but I mean, he said there are no Sith in Episode 7, correct, Mike?
Yeah, he did. No, that's what he said. I don't know that Force lightning in Episode 8, though. I mean,
Right. I mean, and here's the thing. I get that you can be a dark side Force user,
yeah,
and obey or abide by a different code.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of neat. There was actually a lot of flaws with the two codes, and so in Legends they kind of worked through some of that with the new Jedi Order for the Jedi, and then things also kind of evolved with the Sith. You've got a character like Lumaya who comes back and basically kind of tries to show Jason that the Sith can actually be good, and that they're working towards a good cause. They just live by, they've been characterized as these nasty, evil, creatures, but really their goals can be the same. It's just different ways in which they accomplish them. So,
and I was picking up some of that from reading when we were reading the Old Republic series. There's definitely you see more of a humanized side of the Sith when there was the Sith Empire and the way things worked and the hierarchy and things like that. And you know what's funny? That the Rule of Two kind of the Sith kind of changed the way their system or their thought process worked, and we're seeing it now in new canon. So are the Jedi. I mean, Luke Skywalker dismissing the old Jedi way and saying, well, no, we need a new concept here. And maybe that's what the Sith are doing too. I hate to think that we're abandoning the Sith completely, because we're not abandoning the Jedi. Luke Skywalker said, the last of the Jedi she will be. Or that I'm not the last Jedi. That's
that
what
he's
he
not
said.
the last Jedi. Right, yeah.
So we're not abandoning those standards.
Right, and here's the thing, though. In Legends, what's crazy is that I think they sat down, and I'd have to go look up a lot of this stuff just for recall, but things changed. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, attachments were allowed. For various reasons. There had to be certain circumstances. They weren't encouraging everybody to go out and just get married. But there are reasons why they allowed it and stuff, and their understanding of the Jedi Code and the Force itself kind of expanded a little bit, and so that could be happening too. She still could be a Jedi, but you could, kind of not tweak the code, but you're kind of, I don't know, just expanding it a bit, I guess. And that same thing could be happening for the Sith. I just don't know. We didn't get a whole lot of that with Snoke. You also have other factions like the Church of the Force, and not the Brotherhood of Darkness, but the
acolytes.
Yeah. So,
well, let me ask you. Let's make a bold prediction here.
Okay.
Just a yes or no, and we'll kind of wrap up this discussion here. I mean, we were talking about Thrawn briefly, but it turned into something else, as it always does.
Right.
And it's episode 9. That's okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Yes or no? Are we going to see a return of the Sith in episode 9?
Oh man.
Return of the Jedi. Return of the Sith.
Wow. Well, if we go with what your stance is that he's gone. If Ben is a goner and he's gone down to the dark side, if he's taken that path forever, will it dominate his destiny? And then yes, the answer is yes. We'll have a return.
Wow. Could his mother's passing be what pushes him over?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you kind of said it. That's the one thing that Jason Solo in Legends is searching for. He's trying to become the Dark Lord of the Sith. He's seeking that mantle. Right now, no one, even if Snoke, if Snoke does come from another galaxy or comes from the unknown regions and it's just a dark side user or whatever, very, very powerful, but doesn't know anything about that code. And maybe it's something about abiding by that code and following it that helps you truly unleash, your powers, to reach attain a higher level than what Snoke could teach him, So if he does go back and seek some of that out, and he seeks out his grandfather, right, and he finishes what he started, he may along the way encounter the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker, telling him that he's gone astray. But it wouldn't surprise me if there are other ancient Sith lords who have possessed people in the past, there could be some possession going on there, and we could actually have him being guided, or at least taking up that mantle, kind of figuring out what tests he needs to go through to truly become, the Dark Lord of the Sith. So
I sure hope so. I think that would be a big win for Star Wars fans. Bring back the Sith. Like you said, go away for a little while. Do that, Rian Johnson trilogy. Let's do some animated stuff. Let's do an Obi-Wan standalone. Maybe Obi-Wan's been doing some research about the unknown regions and other threats. Let's tie it all in. I'm down for that.
Well, here's the thing. One thing that you said earlier that I think going forward, this is just a giant episode 9 speculation.
It is.
I love it.
No, this is pondering with Kenobi. I meant to say that we're going to go
pondering.
Ahead. We are pondering right now. We're going to take some of those main pondering points we had scheduled for this show. We're going to push them to next week.
That's fine.
Because I think it is an important discussion that we have. Yeah. But this is our
we
pondering.
we naturally got into it. It's very organic.
Yeah.
So what I think, in Legends, Jason Solo, who if you look at Ben Solo and Jason Solo, very similar, right? Actually ends up, I don't know if he marries or if he just hooks up with Tanel Ka, who's a Jedi, and at one point, and she's the leader of the Hapes Consortium, and they have a child, and it's sort of one of those things. It's like, so could, as Mike said earlier, could he already have a child that is hidden somewhere, and that he is going to protect or whatever, because I think in this movie he's 29, 30 years old, in these films. So he definitely could have a young child that is hidden away from him, and he's working towards this mantle. The Skywalker line is already continuing through that, child right there.
That would be crazy.
Regardless of what, is going on with Rey, that could be the thing. Perhaps also... perhaps Luke spirited away that child. Perhaps Luke actually hid that child from Ben, so that way, and Rey needs to go find that child.
And that's why he has a personal kind of vendetta against Luke Skywalker.
Could be, yeah.
Not so much for maybe him, attempting to kill him. Yeah, that's terrible. But could he also have sent someone away? And he needs to find them. That's interesting.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Just speculating.
You're just spitballing here. I like it.
Just spitballing. Trying to think of ways in which Legends can kind of connect in here with some of this going forward in Episode 9, and the way you can continue the Skywalker line, because you have to. There has to be someone at the end of this who carries on. Going forward. Even at the end of Episode 6, we at least knew that Han and Leia were together. You know what I mean? Fine. That's good enough for us. We know in our minds, even if they never, had written a Legends book, we could imagine that they got together, had children. They were possibly Force sensitive. All of us could have come to that conclusion. Yeah. I think they need to leave us in that same place at the end of Episode 9.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
I will be disappointed. I'll say that.
I will be disappointed as well.
So.
I gotta be honest, man. It felt like the rust just kind of came right off the bat. I think we still got it. The speculation is still heavy, and it's still deep.
I know. I love it. Honestly, and there's more of it too. Yeah. I think the more we dive into, either Legends material or things that are coming out, or just sort of think back on The Force Awakens and some of those clips that we have of Carrie Fisher, I think there's more for us to kind of piece together and put together what we think may happen. And this is just fun for Mike and I. This is how the podcast kind of started, is just speculation, talking through some of this, and it's one of the best. It's one of our favorite things to do. So Pine for 9, man. We got to get ready.
Pine for 9. I love it. Yeah. Man. Well, that's an hour, man.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think
time flies.
Time flies. It's good to be back. I think we'll, we're going to try to reconvene together, over at what are we calling your station over there?
It's Yavin 4.
Yavin 4. Okay, that's right.
What the cast is.
That's what the Chromecast is over there.
Yep.
We'll give you the password in case you ever want to swing past Mike's and cast something
you
funny on the TV. So, you can just look through the back window and watch with us.
Absolutely.
But anyways, folks, yeah. So leave us a comment down below. We'll be back. I think Thursday we're gonna do a little. I'm not sure. We might post this by Thursday actually, and then we'll be recording again. Hopefully, get something out again this weekend or early next week. Yeah. So I think that's it, friends.
Yeah, we're back. No more month pauses. We are our apologies. Month and a half, whatever it was. Our apologies. It's life can get crazy
it can get very crazy, my friend. Mike's going to be towing basically kind of towing the ship here for a while. I mean, he's really taking on a heavy load, so we appreciate that. And he's got all the codes, the transponder codes and everything. So they all hopefully will check out, and we won't have any more hiccups. But
absolutely.
So yeah, there's that. But all right, guys. Well, that's it. Like I said, we'll be back, and leave us a comment down below. Please like, subscribe. If you find the pod, I haven't said it in a while, so those positive review guys, those go on iTunes, and the negative ones go on YouTube. I don't know if I made that clear in the past, but you might have got mixed up there in our absence.
Yep.
But
I think people forgot. They forgot.
I think they need a reminder. They need a reminder. So no, Mike, somebody said a long time ago, one of the comments that we got that has always stuck with me, and I always really appreciate it, is that you and I do this for fun. Wow, shit. Yes, the squarehead comment, boxhead comment had stuck with me for a while. Look at that guy in his box head. That guy's got a huge head. That was funny. That was funny. No, but no, you remember the comment though where the guy said that one of the things that he liked about our podcast is just that we do it for fun, and we do it
absolutely.
When we're together, when we get together, we sit down, we talk Star Wars. We actually just rebooted up our Destiny Battlefront hangouts on Thursdays now that I've relocated and we're all kind of settled down. So our buddy Tom, Matt will be on there, possibly our buddy Fogel, we'll be on there kind of gaming out, hopefully Thursday nights.
Yes.
You never know. We might even throw something up on Twitch just for fun now that we're back at it. We just play Destiny, we play Battlefront.
Yeah.
But this is what we do. We kind of do it for fun. We're not paid for this. We're not endorsed by Disney as much as we try to, make it sound like we are. We wish we were.
Yeah.
If we were, let me tell you right now, we would have been fired for this past month.
Yeah, we would have.
We would have been fired. Yeah, but they would have brought on a sub. Christian Harloff could have got on there and subbed for us a little bit. So
yeah, probably.
He's our backup, just in case you guys didn't know.
Bring in the lefty.
Bring in the lefty. So, but no, I think that's the whole point, man. Is we do it for fun because we love it, we enjoy it. We hope you guys are watching because you like Star Wars and you enjoy the discussion. And I think we would try our best to bring consistent content to you guys. And going forward, I think that's our plan. But life does happen, and we'll just kind of keep in mind we're just regular guys, just doing a podcast, trying to have some fun. We look forward to seeing people at Celebration. I've already got my Celebration tickets. We're booking a hotel here soon. We might even hit that podcasting stage if they're crazy enough to let us on there.
Yeah,
and kind of go from there. So
I'm already packing. So
oh man, I know. I'm actually like legit. I've got my personal days. I'm ready to go. Got those all scheduled. So
we
that's gonna
actually
be real
might
exciting.
need to hit up some listeners for a place to stay because we've got to get on that hotel.
We really, or we're gonna have to do a little commute and just we're gonna spend the night there anyways. Every year
I figured.
We end up staying the night. So
we'll stay the night, or we'll hit up, Rebel Scum podcast. Maybe they'd go halvesies on a.
Hey, you know what, Rebel Scum
just
guys,
a shower. You know what I'm saying,
James? Here's the thing. We miss you guys. And so I kind of feel like we've got like a Rebel Scum vibe here with the, with the headsets and everything. So we love those guys, and we'll have to hit them up, see if they got a spare patch of floor we can sleep on or something.
Yeah.
So
maybe a shower or two.
Maybe just exactly. So, or Kathleen Kennedy can just do what she did last year and hook us up royal. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks again for tuning in. And as always, may the Force be with you.